Life is weirdly a lot harder than we've been told. And midlife? That's a whole other can of worms that I was completely unprepared for. What about you? But here's the good news. There are so many new skills and mindsets that we can learn to make even the toughest days a little bit better. You just haven't learned them. Welcome to Thrive with Kira, a smart and square podcast for women in midlife that teaches the skills to get more joy and love in your life. Join me weekly as I teach science-based, smarty-farty topics and break them down into bite-sized lessons that you can apply to your life, all while sharing my own shit show life stories that you can learn from. I'll be talking regularly about getting more joy on a daily basis, thriving in midlife, yes, you can, figuring out menopause, healthy dating and relationships, building self-worth, body positivity and neutrality, growth mindset, adult friendships, and also just easy mindfulness. So we can stop just surviving and start learning how to thrive. Welcome to Thrive. Well, hello there, sugar pantses, and welcome. Welcome to Thrive. I am Kira Sabin, positive psychology practitioner. Farty smarty pants? I don't know. It's off over here, guys, today, but that's exactly why I'm making this announcement. So, first of all, I'm sorry I wasn't here last week. I have been a little under the weather, and choices were made. But that's okay, because under the dreamlike state of NyQuil, I came up with an idea. And I'm pretty excited about it, and I've kind of spent the last week building it, getting ready for it, and everything else. But I am going to do a 30-day joy journey. So 30 days where I am doing one positive psychology, like mini positive psychology application every single day to see kind of what's working, what's not, what can be helpful. And I'm inviting everybody along on this journey. I am doing it on video. I'm going all out. I'm scared shitless because I'm old and plus size, and the people on the internet aren't very nice. But sometimes you have to kick your shit to the curb, be brave, because I want this, and I honestly think it's going to help other people too. So I actually did it was 45 minutes, but I cut it down to 30 minutes, just kind of walking through why I'm doing this, what to expect, what I'm committing to, how you can help. And I actually did a video version. So if you want to watch me cry, I will have the video link in the notes, and you can go watch that and feel free to like it because it's super vulnerable but very real. And then I hope if this kind of sparks you, if you maybe feel a little bit in the same place, whether you are 25 or 45 or 65, I think a lot of us are struggling. I think a lot of us has been struggling for a while. I've mentioned down here, I think there's still a bit of a global, especially national burnout from COVID that we really haven't dealt with. And I also know that this is kind of bigger than midlife and perimenopause, and it's even bigger than depression, right? I've had depression on and off my whole entire adult life, and this isn't it. I actually feel not depressed, but I feel highly unsatisfied, discontented, and unfulfilled. So that's why I'm doing this. And I want you to come along and do it with me, or at least watch and cheer me on, or share it so maybe it inspires other people, or just even save it so that when you are feeling maybe a little bit stronger or better, you want to take on some of these things too. And I am going to say that I don't think that any of the things that I'm doing are going to be things that you haven't heard. Most of us know what mindfulness is. Most of us have heard of things like grounding and breath work and everything else. But I am just actively adding things in every day, trying things to see what works for me and encouraging you to do the same thing. Now, sometimes it will be just a few minutes. and sometimes it will be part of an afternoon. But what I can commit to is I'm doing this pretty cheaply, and I'm going to document everything. I guarantee there will be a lot of real, a lot of honesty, a lot of emotions, but I'm hoping to start just bringing back more joy in my life. So if this sounds good on any level, please listen or go over and watch the video portion, and then come over to kirasabin.substack.com and you can follow me there, because that's where all of the videos it's going to be the hub, right? So I'll have videos and audios there of what I'm doing and how I did it. There'll be PDFs occasionally so you can participate along. And then finally, over the next 4 weeks, this podcast will be lining up with some of the things I'm doing. I'm just going to be talking about some of the things and just breaking them down deeper, the science, why we do this, what it's proven, so that it makes sense. Because I can guarantee you that the first time when I talk to a coach about weight loss and my health journey, and by the way, this was a long time ago, so I look at my weight loss and health journey very differently now. They asked me if I meditated. And let me just tell you, even though I did not say it out loud because I don't encourage people to tell their coaches to fuck off, including my clients who are listening to this, but I, in my mind, was like, fuck off and fuck you if you think meditation, like some dumb ass thing that I can't even do with ADHD, is going to help me lose weight when I haven't been able to lose weight for 30 years. Yeah, okay, sure. Dude, wrong. I was wrong. And I'm not saying that meditation is helped me in weight loss, but what I will say is it has helped me in health and become a better person and create better relationships and make me a better coach and all of these other things that allow me to more clearly focus on things that matter to me. Listen to this with that kind of open mind. Because some of the things might seem ridiculous, counterintuitive, counterproductive even, like, why would I spend my time doing that? That doesn't even make sense. But the greatest and coolest fucking thing about positive psychology is this shit is proven. There is research, there is neuroscience, there is just interesting and exciting things happening in the world of the science of happiness and understanding what makes us happy. And spoiler alert, as I've shared the last few weeks, it's not the stuff that we learned. So I hope you follow along. Even if not, these podcasts that I bring the next few weeks will be really, really solid. Whether you're following along or not, you're going to really enjoy them because they're things that we all should know to work towards more happiness. And as a reminder, happier people usually feel more comfortable in their bodies. Happier people create better friendships and relationships. Happier people go towards better jobs, better careers. Happier people are actually healthier because it slows down the stress and anxiety in your body. There's just so much cool shit behind happiness. And the greatest thing I love about all of these activities, these applications, everything that I'm going to be sharing is almost all of them are free. They can be done by literally everybody with some practice. You may not be great at the first time. Welcome. That's life. But this shit can literally make your life better. I don't know if it's going to instantly change your life, but there is absolute brain science behind people who've made some of these changes, and it shows up on brain scans. When I found that out, blew my mind. So listen to this somewhat sad for the beginning part. You can fast forward if it gets too sad. Story about kind of where I'm at. Like I said, I cry many times. I think within the first minute. I'm only laughing at myself because sometimes I gotta laugh or I'm gonna cry. and I hope you join me. Once again, look in the show notes. There's going to be a link to the Substack. If you just have to enter your email, and then it'll automatically go in your inbox every day if I've posted something. It won't be obnoxious. I don't know. I think we all could use a little inspiration right now. And you don't need to be in a relationship. You don't even need to have solid friends right now to do this shit. But I think it could make your life better, and I think it can make you happier. So without further ado, welcome to my joy journey. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to my joy journey. Wait, you've never heard of a joy journey? Oh, that's because I'm fucking making it up right now. But hi, I'm Kira, and here's the truth. I'm just gonna dig right in. I've been really unhappy. Like really unhappy. Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna cry right away. Things have gotten rough. I feel like I've been in a place for a while where I'm just pushing through and getting by. And it's not working anymore. That's kind of how I was raised. I'm Gen X. I am part of the generation of suck it up, buttercup, push through, power through, you'll get over it. And I can't do that anymore. Let's talk about some of the things that are showing up. You might resonate with them. Number one, midlife. I turned 50 last year and it has rocked me to my core. I never could have guessed how much I would miss and reminisce over the younger version of me and the person that I was when I had more energy and felt hopeful about the future. I could day drink without feeling like shit for 5 days afterwards. I find myself grieving the person who I thought I would become and maybe haven't reached, and feeling behind. I don't think that anybody prepared us for perimenopause. I can't believe what a bitch smack this is and how very little I've been prepared for this. I knew more at 12 years old about puberty and getting my first period than I do at 51 about perimenopause with the internet at my fingertips. I think there's something wrong with that, but I haven't slept through the night in months. I'm tired all the time. I'm gaining weight without changing anything that I'm doing, and in fact, actively trying not to. I've got hot flashes. I've got anxiety. I've never had anxiety. I had my first anxiety attack recently, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? The brain fog has left me feeling honestly stupid, and I can't find my words. I will start a sentence and forget what I'm saying by the end of it. I should also mention I'm ADHD, so that just makes it really worse on a whole nother level. And this is tough. I feel like my body is betraying me. I feel like we've never been good friends, something I'm working on. But now I'm doing all the right things and it doesn't help. I have a lifetime struggle with my body. I also have PCOS, which keeps me a little depressed and not loving how I look and feel, which has led me to isolating. I have not intentionally, but let a lot of my friendships go. COVID really isolated me. I think a lot of people feel that way. I have a social anxiety that I didn't used to have. Oh, wow. And as a former extrovert who loved being around people, who actively tried to seek out being with people on almost a daily basis, I'm having a hard time leaving my house, which feels easier and safer, but has left me also feeling pretty empty. And it also forces a lot of pressure on my fucking incredible husband, Danny, to have to take on the brunt of my unhappiness and community because I don't have any. And I'm in my apartment, my 2-bedroom apartment in Madison, a lot, which has led me to doom scrolling and numbing. Because since COVID, my business has not been as strong. I've been struggling. I have had some health stuff come up, and things feel so hard that I'm either working or I'm numbing out. Hours of TV, scrolling on my phone and feeling triggered by like every other piece of content. If I'm not working, I'm distracting myself in another way so I don't have to think about the life that I have right now. I don't know. Does anybody here resonate? And I'm trying to find my purpose here. As I've gotten older, and especially the last 5 years, I feel irrelevant in this world in a way that I've never felt before. Never. I kind of feel invisible in real life, online. I've been doing what I do for 16 years, and I can't compete with the noise around me. So now that I've just told you about how not so awesome my life is right now, I'm also here to announce I'm doing something about it. And I'm hopefully bringing you guys along with me to inspire you, to kind of help keep myself accountable, and to find more fucking joy in my life. Because as I sat and talked to my husband a couple of days ago, I said, staring at my computer all day, every day, and then just ending up looking at a different device at night until I fall asleep. This isn't a life. This isn't a life anymore. So I'm fucking doing this. All right. What is this and what do I believe? Now, I've just went through all of that, told you how much I'm struggling. I'm actually like going to wipe away my fucking tears right now. And this is what I believe. Now, here's the rub. I actually am a positive psychology coach, which means I understand the science of happiness. I understand how to get happiness. I understand what we need to do, the mindsets and the skills to feel good on a daily basis. I know everything I'm supposed to do, but I've gotten so stuck, I've stopped doing it. I've stopped doing a lot of things that make me feel good, almost like I didn't deserve it anymore. But I'm going back to what I know, and that's part of what I'm doing here, not only for myself, but to also help others realize, because we learned a lot of weird things about happiness that are completely untrue. But here's the thing. Positive psychology, I think, can change my life and can change almost everybody's life. And most of us don't know that much about it. That's part of the reason I'm doing this, not only to work on getting more moments of joy in my life, but to help people get more moments of joy in their lives too, particularly midlife women, because I think that this is a really tough time for a lot of us. And we're isolating and we're doing it alone and we're tired and we're struggling. So I'm going to go back to what I know in positive psychology. It's science-based, and here are some of the things that I believe that positive psychology backs up. Number one, happiness is not a destination. I feel like what I learned was that once I got into a great relationship, had a fulfilling career or business, wonderful friendships, lived in a great place, things were just going to fall in line and I was going to be happy. That's not true. I wish it was. I have a fantastic relationship. I met my husband, Danny, at 41 in my home freaking town of 5,000 at a bowling alley. You will probably see him in this journey. He's my favorite fucking person and will probably be holding the camera on some days just to help me out in this process. He is completely agreed. But I have lived in Costa Rica and Mexico, Denver, not just Madison. I have been around the world. I have a great relationship and man, I'm still not happy. There's no destination. There is no place we can get to. There's no perfect body. There's no perfect person. There's no perfect relationship. There's no perfect job that is actually going to make us happy for a long period of time. I know this to be true. There is science that backs it up. I will put some podcasts I've done recently in my show notes if you guys want to learn more about it. This one is about the happiness set point. Next, real happiness exists when we do a couple of things. And I've simplified this down to communicate this to other people. Number one, we have to be present. We have to be aware in the spaces that we're at, whether we're by ourselves, whether we're with other people, but we have to actually not be just stuck in our head and notice what's going on around us. I would say I am highly not present in my life right now. I am on a device at all times, not just for work, but for distraction. When I'm on a device, I am not aware of what's going on around me. That's a little bit of my ADHD. That's a little bit of also how I was raised. But what I know to be true and is backed up by science is that we can't actually feel joy unless we are present, unless we are sitting and connecting with people and giving them our full attention, unless we're able to see and feel and smell and all of the senses what's going on around us. That's number one, be present. Number two, have the right mindset. That's a big one. A lot of us think our lives suck. I'm not going to tell you your life doesn't suck. But what I do know is that once we learn a couple of different mindsets, the growth mindset is my favorite, we realize that sometimes our perspective is getting in our own way. And by the way, what you know about positive psychology, a lot of people want to equate it to toxic positivity, and it's completely different. Toxic positivity is looking at a situation and only wanting to feel good about it. So we ignore the bad feelings. We don't acknowledge how we actually feel. And we just say, I'm fine, I'm good, everything's good. Positive psychology says our brain naturally goes to the negative. So we have to actively look for and add positive things in our day to feel more joy and be happy. So we have to be present, have the right mindset to actually notice the things around us. And then we get to have these mini moments of joy, connection with our partner or our friend, this beautiful moment in nature, just laughing with people that you care about and they care about you. These are mini moments of joy. And because I don't believe in happiness as a destination, like we'll finally get there and then we'll be happy for the rest of our lives, what I do believe is that when we are present, when we have the right mindset, we can start seeing and enjoying all of these mini moments of joy. And all of those mini moments of joy tied together equals happiness. So why am I doing this? To wake myself up again, to light myself up again, to remind myself that I still have something to give, that this is all we get and I don't want to spend it stuck, sad, lonely, and frustrated, to prove that I still have this left in me. Because I think there's this part of me that just is like, well, I guess this is who I am now. I guess that younger girl who traveled a lot and had lots of experiences doesn't really exist anymore. I want this next stage of my life and I want to figure out how to get there. And by the way, I'm working on it. I want to figure out how to make it just as good as this last stage or better. Because I do like myself more. I do not give a shit on what most people think of me. Although, let me tell you this, please understand, as a 51-year-old plus size woman, putting myself all over the internet, even doing things of joy, is scary as fuck. Scary as fuck. So really, if you're watching this and I'm not your thing, or you don't like my swearing, or whatever it is, please move along. Please spread your judgments and your preferences somewhere else. I also want to go after new goals and dreams. I want to find out what these new goals and dreams are. The things that haven't happened that I thought would have. I want to figure out what feels good and what feels doable and real for these next 10 years. And then there's also this other part of me that's shaking off years of being told what good girls do, being told how women should look like to find love or be okay in the society, shaking off the conditioning. Like, I have some makeup on now. Most of these I won't. I want to just be able to be myself. I might cut this fucking hair off that's driving me crazy and how hot it is. I kind of want to get tattoos. I've never gotten a tattoo because good girls in that way I was raised don't get tattoos because none of us are really guaranteed anything in this life. And we think that money is our most precious resource, and it's really time. And I think what makes midlife particularly hard is we realize that we don't have as much time left as we thought. We didn't have to really think about this shit when we're in our 20s or our 30s. Also, for as much as I don't continue to love my body, which once again I'm working on not only body positivity, but also body neutrality. But I'm reasonably healthy right now. And honestly, that can change in a minute. None of us really know what tomorrow brings. So I don't want to waste this one precious life, like worried what my body looks like on videos or online and not doing things I love. I feel like that's the easy way out, but it's not the fucking happy way out. Here's a little bit about me. You guys can skip this section if you don't want to know anything about me. I grew up in a small town in Wisconsin. I now live in Madison, Wisconsin. I met my husband, Danny, at 41. I will put a podcast that he is on with me talking about the night we met and the beginning of our relationship. And it's pretty funny. I was single for a very, very long time. I honestly never thought I would be in a long-term relationship because society told me that I didn't get to have love because I was a plus-size woman from PCOS. Turns out I do get to have love. I actually get to have a wonderful and amazing relationship that I created with him. And that's bullshit that I'm still trying to let go of. We have built a great relationship. He is my rock. He grounds me. He keeps this house from getting too messy. And he's the real fucking deal. He's a keeper. I am child-free by choice. I'm a mom to 2 rescues, a grumpy senior dog named Rex, and a pirate kitty. She's one-eyed named Ruby. I'm a huge animal person, and I like animals more than humans a lot of the days. I'm adult diagnosed with ADHD, and although that was a huge sigh of relief when I finally understood why my brain worked the way that it did, after going through a childhood of just being told I talk too much all the time and that I was disrupting class. And I love that I now can understand why I am the way I am, but it doesn't always help. Just because I know what this is and I can point to why I'm doing things the way that I'm doing, I find that so many of my insecurities and the way I perceive myself is through this lens of doing life wrong because of ADHD and just not being that good at life. Like, I have had to struggle to constantly to feel like a grown-up. Having that diagnosis, just like knowing now that I have PCOS, is helpful, but it doesn't necessarily make things easier. I also, as I mentioned, just feel like I am shaking off my upbringing, the patriarchy, but the bullshit I grew up, and I see a lot of women my age also feeling that way. Just really warped lessons about myself and who I was supposed to be for people, but my body, what I should tolerate. And then I find myself wanting to throw up every single day when I realized, oh, that belief you've had your whole entire life is total bullshit and has been hurting you for years. Here's the other thing that I think a lot of us are going to get. I know all the things I need to do to be happier. Knowledge is not transformation. Knowledge is not change. I wish it was. It's not. You have to actually apply things to your life. And then you have to practice them to change them. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm taking what I know to be true and actually doing it. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing every day. I'm going to tell you what feels like it's working and what's not. Here's what you can expect from me. I'm going to be honest and real. That's who I am and all I'm interested in being at this point. I will be back as much as possible. I'm going to try to do this daily. I'm sure there'll be occasionally a day I take off because part of this is about living life and enjoying life. And I don't want to be so tied to this that I'm just distracting myself another way by doing this. I can only do this if I'm going to be me. My hair is going to be up in a bun. I'll probably be in some level of yoga pants every day or a comfy dress. I really want to start living the caftan life like Mrs. Roper. So if anybody is out there, hashtag Roper life, doing that already, please let me know so I can do it myself. I'm also going to share a little bit of the science behind it so you don't just go, what the fuck is that about? Or why are you doing that? I'm going to share why I'm doing it and how it's supposed to help. I'm sure there's going to be ups and downs. I'm going to do this highly imperfectly. I'm not going to say things the right way all the time. I'm going to get probably frustrated. They'll be crying. There's already been crying in this video. But I want to keep going. And I'm going to do this for 30 days. If people are inspired, if people are here and following along, I hope to maybe keep going, sharing with people my own personal experiences so they feel comfortable and confident enough to try it themselves. Because I don't know about you, but I've been looking around and there's a lot of unhappy people right now. A lot. The other thing I can promise you is I don't have a ton of money right now. I'm selling a new program in my business, and this will be either free things you can do or very, very cheap. I mean, occasionally I might have ice cream or cheese because I am from Wisconsin and that does cost a little bit of money, but tell me that's not pure joy. But I'll be doing this very budget friendly and mostly free. So how can you help? Please keep the comments supportive, ask questions. Tell me what resonated with you. Tell me what you can relate to. Tell me if you're like, oh my God, me too. That's what to share. It helps me keep going through kind of the awkward and pretty slightly scary parts of this. But here's a couple of really easy things. Subscribe. You can subscribe here on the videos, but I actually am doing a Substack, and that's where the whole process is going to be. I'll have audios over there, these videos, but also shorter videos. I'll probably be some night doing takeaways. That's not all going to be on YouTube. So my Substack is down in the notes here. So you can go and follow. If you sign up, it's just going to tell you when there's something new. And I'm encouraging you to sign up, whether it be here or there, because if you are midlife and feel this, you probably also have brain fog and may not remember this tomorrow. So I do encourage you to go over and subscribe on the platform that makes you feel good. I will be spreading this everywhere. I will be putting this on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, here on YouTube, and then sharing it all on my Substack. I'm also going to ask a huge favor. Share this. If one of my videos makes you go, yes, share it. If you're feeling this, if you're liking this, if I've made you laugh, if I've inspired you a little bit, please share that with people you know. That's how this gets bigger. And that also helps me continuing going with this journey. Also, do your own mini moments of joy. Hashtag mini moments of joy. If you're inspired by one of my videos, I'm going to have kind of different themes throughout the week. Do it yourself and tag me. I want to see this. I'm doing this because I want to encourage people who maybe feel stuck to do the same. And if you're over 40 and you love what I'm doing here and you want to tap into this very full brain that knows a ton about love and happiness and joy and relationships and how to live in a way that doesn't feel as heavy and hard, please check out my Thrive program for women in midlife. It starts in January. It starts on a retreat. It ends on a retreat. It is a big ass deal, but for 14 people, I am going to dedicate 9 months of my life to supporting you, to cheerlead you on, to celebrate you, and adding some of these things into your life too. Here is what you can expect from me. Number one, I'll be doing these mostly daily so you can find them and watch them. I'll be trying new things. I will be proving myself wrong. I will be doing things that scare me. I will be connecting with people and leaving my fucking house, which feels harder than I want it to. And then I'm also going to be taking my podcast that I have had for over 10 years and breaking down some of the bigger concepts, teaching the science, giving more takeaways, or just kind of more info about this journey so that we're really immersed in this and you're learning a lot, because that's kind of the point. For me to find out how to put more joy into my life and what's working and what's not. Now, there's two things that I'm committing to, period, that I know work for me. I know the science of why they work and are really short and easy things I can do in my day. Number one, mini meditations. Now, I mentioned I'm ADHD. Meditation has been a journey for me, but it's a journey that has been worthwhile. And I know the person I am waking up at a meditation versus waking up on social media are two different people. So every day I'm committing to myself and you right now that I will be doing a mini meditation. So that's usually 3 minutes or less, to just start my day in a little bit more of a happy space, a thoughtful space, and an intentional space. The other thing that I'll be doing at the end of the day is hunting for the good. Some people call it gratitude. This is what I like to call it. And my husband's agreed to do this with me to help me be accountable. But at the end of every day, we're going to both talk about what was great in our day, to notice the things, because I've just stopped noticing things. And when you're frustrated and a little sad and a little depressed and your hormones are all over the place, it can be really hard to recognize the good. But I don't want to just sludge through life thinking it's only bad, because I know that's not true. So those are the two things that I am doing myself. I maybe encourage you to do the same. If you want to try that with me, a 3-minute meditation, I use Insight Timer. It's absolutely free. And then end of day hunting for the good. And you just take 3 or 4 things and acknowledge and recognize and just feel in that moment, oh yeah, that thing did feel good. So I remember that there's good things happening too. Okay, everybody. I hope that some of you join me on this journey. I hope that this has been fun and a little inspirational, and you find me over at Substack or thrivewithkira.com and follow this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye on what I'm calling my ending for each of these videos, which is be kind, be brave, but take no shit. All right, guys, see you on the joy journey. If you're ready in 2025, if you're ready to change your life, change it with me. Let's do this. Let's fucking do this. I'm so excited. There is now a 10-part payment plan. Figure it out. Come talk to me. We're going to jump on a call. And by the way, if it's not a good match, if I'm like, you know what, this isn't what you need right now, I will tell you. I'm that person. If you liked this, please subscribe. I don't always put things out weekly. Sometimes I put things out 3 times a week. Sometimes I'll have a week and a half to 2 weeks in between. So subscribe so you know exactly when things go live. Finally, if you really love it, please leave a review. Whether it's just some stars on Apple or Spotify, or really writing down what you are learning and loving about this podcast. I read every single one. They fucking make my day. You are the wind beneath my wings. And it helps get it out there. Because honestly, as much as I can say this, for as much feedback I get about this podcast, which is a lot, and most of it all very positive, except for the people who don't like my swearing and don't fucking care. Even if you never share this with another person, by you writing an anonymous review, that lets other people know this might be something that they want to check out. All right, guys. I'll see you soon. No more surviving. Let's thrive.